my beautiful friends, and welcome back to my videos where we learn Pilates mat flow one exercise at a time. And today is video number 10, and exercise number 10 in traditional Pilates mat flow is crisscross. Crisscross is such a wonderful exercise. It adds an element of rotation to our workouts because so far we've been doing a lot of forward flexion. So this will challenge our external oblique muscles. This will also continue to work on our core control, our pelvic stability. This will add an element of coordination to our workouts as well. But before jumping in and learning crisscross, we are going to repeat all of the exercises that we've learned so far. And if you haven't checked out my previous videos where we learned exercises 1 through 9 in the traditional Pilates mat flow, please go ahead and do that and then hop into this video. We will be patiently waiting for you right here. Now, what are the first 9 exercises of the Pilates mat flow? Let's remember. The first one is the 100. Exercise number 2 is the roll up. Exercise number 3 is the rollover. Exercise number 4 is single leg circles. Exercise number 5 is rolling like a ball. Exercise number 6 is single leg stretch. Exercise number 7 is double leg stretch. Exercise number 8 is single straight leg stretch. Exercise number 9 is double straight leg stretch. And today's exercise number 10 will be crisscross. Now, crisscross is also the 5th exercise in the Pilates stomach series, or the series of 5. So this today will complete our learning of the series of 5, which began with single leg stretch. So exercise number 6, single leg stretch, followed by the double leg stretch, followed by single straight leg stretch, double straight leg stretch, and crisscross make 5 abdominal exercises. Now, we are going to do all of those 9 exercises now together, flowing through them. And as you already know, in between all of the Pilates exercises, I'm weaving in some gentle yin-inspired stretches, maybe some pre-Pilates poses to balance out our very masculine, so to speak, workout, right? Pilates has a lot of very masculine principles. By the way, Pilates, what are Pilates principles? I hope you know them. I have a video about Pilates principles in somewhere on my playlist, so check that out. But Pilates principles, there are 9 of them, and they are breathing, concentration, control, centering, precision, whole body movement, rhythm and flow, balanced muscle development, and relaxation. So if you hear all of them, right, most of them have very masculine qualities to them, right? Precision, concentration, control, centering, even breathing in Pilates is very structured. So therefore, I am adding yin-inspired feminine poses and feminine stretches where we just let go and allow our bodies to just be in between every exercise. We're going to begin on our backs, and every class will begin with us setting an intention for the class. So let's get onto our backs, and before getting to our first exercise, which is the 100, we're going to set an intention for this class together. All right, so let's sit nice and tall and then gracefully peel down to our backs. Open up our arms wide, allow our knees to bend. The legs can be mat distance apart, shoulder distance apart, or hip distance apart. It's up to you. Here, release your abdominals. Don't close the ribs through the front just yet. Allow everything to just be the way it is. Close your eyes. Breathe. And I will tell you what I chose for our intention for this class today. It came to me that we probably need to focus a little bit more on recognizing abundance around us. And not only around us, but also our internal abundance. And at the very end of the class, I will tell you a little story about it, but I'd like to set an intention for this workout to highlight our abundance rather than highlighting our lack, right? So if any of the exercises are not coming easy to you yet, please let go of self-judgment. Allow and see yourself as fully abundant. Look, you've already had a spark of inspiration coming from within to come and be here today. You also were abundant with the spark of motivation to come and actually move. So you are super abundant and everything else will just come. All right, with that, let's begin by bringing our legs hip distance apart, or about a fist distance between the heels and the knees. We're going to bring the arms by the sides and then set up for our 100, which will begin before we even lift the legs. We're going to pull the abdominal wall inwards and upwards, engaging through the powerhouse, zipping the ribs through the front, and then with that, we're going to bring our legs to tabletop one at a time, gently shifting the weight from one place to the other. Or, sorry, I got distracted. I have rocks underneath me and they're uneven, so it's not too easy for me today. We're gonna lift the arms up to the sky. Take a deep inhale here. Exhale, lift into our best 100 for today. Sink in the belly button to the spine. Let's begin to breathe in for 5 and breathe out for 5. Pumping the arms vigorously as if we're fanning off the hips. And we're using a sniffing breath. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathing out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathing out, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can always bend the knees if you feel like you're losing connection with your powerhouse and your back begins to arch off the mat. You can always extend one leg and then the other to challenge yourself a little bit more and a little bit more. Be kind to your body. Make sure that you are focusing on how abundant you are and not the lack of your extension or the lack of your core strength yet. It will all come. It's actually already here. We just need to observe it, to notice it, to work a little bit on it and allow it to manifest within our physical bodies. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathing out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pull the knees into the chest. Release the legs and the upper body down. And let's move over to the side and then to the belly. We're going to create an opposing force. Sorry, I got some ants and spiders here, but the view is beautiful, right? All right, so we're going to get to balance our flexion with some extension right now in a pose that is called either a swan in Pilates, but we're not going to do the actual exercise. We're going to have this pose have yin qualities, so there's not going to be work happening in the pose. Rather, our spine will just go into a gentle extension. So bring your be on your forearms here with your elbows aligned right underneath the shoulders. Your legs can be together or as wide as is comfortable for your lower back. Now you're going to gently press your pubic bone into the mat and then allow your legs to go soft. So in traditional swan exercise, which we will learn later, you will have to engage the legs and everything, but in a yin-inspired posture, which is called seal, you don't do any of that. The only thing you do is you reach your tail down towards the legs, towards the feet, to elongate your lower back to make sure you're not jamming yourself there. And then just relax. If this is hard for you, you can always work your arms further out, and you can sink here a little bit through the shoulders. Doesn't matter. You can even drop your head. And just breathe. Just allow and release and feel the wonderful stretch in your back with this very gentle, soft extension. Taking a few breaths in through the nose and exhales out through the mouth. No tension in the core, no tension in the glute. The ribs are doing whatever they want to do. A few more deep breaths in and exhales out. And let's come back to our side as gracefully as we can do it and back onto our backs for our second Pilates exercise, which is the roll-up. Now, as you know, I do not teach traditional roll-up, but since I want you guys to know what it is, today we're gonna do the traditional roll-up. We're going to, it's very similar, only the body never goes straight, so we will never sit tall in between like I teach. So let's begin by bringing our legs together, inner thighs connect, the heels connect, and we are in a Pilates stance here with the feet flexed. So the toes are pointing away from each other, and they're also pointing towards your knees, while the heels are touching and pressing away, far away from the body. Now the arms will come up and over the head. We're gonna zip through the center, engaging the powerhouse, and then take a deep inhale in, sink the belly button even lower down. Exhale, bring the arms up, keep the shoulders down, nod the chin, lift the chest, then lift the ribs, bringing your chest over the ribs, and then the ribs come over the hips, and then the hips are trying to reach over the thigh bones. All the meanwhile, you're scooping the belly and pulling the belly backwards. So this is an opposition at play right here. You're reaching forward with your body, but your belly is pulling you back, and that should create a nice stretch. And reach forward, you can lift the shoulders here, but then remember to bring them down. And then without sitting tall, keep squeezing the inner thighs, keep squeezing the glutes and the seat, and begin to peel down, articulating through the spine, placing one vertebra at a time onto the mat. And arms come up and over the head. And that is your traditional roll-up. So we just go straight up in a C curve, straight down in a C curve, all the way through. Your inner thighs are together and you're in a Pilates stance. All right, let's do it again. Let's take a deep inhale in, sink the belly, exhale up. Chin comes in, chest lifts, ribs lift, belly pulls in. Ribs over hips, and then hips are trying to reach over towards the thigh bone, still keeping a little bit of the space here, lengthening through the lower back, and then shoulders back, and then peel back and down. Arms overhead, arms to the sky, nod the chin, lift yourself up and reach forward, and then peel back down and up. One more time. Exhale, chin, chest, ribs, hips, and then toward the thigh bone, towards the heels, and back. In this beautiful C curve, let's slow it down here and place one vertebra at a time onto the mat, massaging the spine, enjoying every moment of this beautiful stretch. Arms up over the head, arms circle around, and we're gonna place the arms down. We're almost ready for our next exercise, which will be the roll-up, which is not rollover, sorry. The third exercise in the series. Now that is not a beginner exercise, so you can skip it and maybe do some bridging in between. As a matter of fact, we're gonna all do some bridging together, and then you can continue with bridging, maybe hold the bridge to open up the front of the hips as we move into our rollover exercise. Place your feet on the ground, hip distance apart, which is a fist distance between the knees and between the heels. Bring your heels towards the glutes, but not too close. Have a little bit of space. Sorry. There are a lot of critters here today. They all want to learn Pilates. Now let's bring our spine into neutral position. So belly pulls in, ribs close through the front, and with this beautiful neutral spine, we're gonna lift the hips all the way up. Spine is neutral, shoulders are down. Feel the stretch in the front of the hip. Keep pulling the belly in, and then bring everything all the way down. Good. Let's do it again. Inhale, lift into your bridge. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift into your bridge. Squeezing the glute, making sure that the pubic bone and the hip bones are all in the same plane. So we don't want your pubic bone sinking down below the hip bones, right? Make sure the tail tucks and presses the pubic bone up to bring your spine into neutral and your pelvic is nice and straight, right? In line with your knees and your shoulders. And lower down. And let's do 3 more times. Exhale, reach. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Or you can do inhale up. Let's do that. And exhale down. Let's do 2 more. Inhale. Exhale, lower. 1 more. And lower. And extend your legs straight in front of you. And bring the inner thighs together if you are doing the rollover with me. And if not, either take a break or continue doing bridges as we do the roll over together with others. We're going to bring the inner thighs together here. I like to point the toes. We're going to engage the glutes, squeeze the inner thighs, engage the pelvic floor and the rest of our powerhouse muscles. Frame our body with our arms, shoulders are down, palms are firmly on the ground. They're actually going to help us until our core gets so strong that we don't need to rely on the arms so much. But for now, everything engages. Point the toe. Watch me here. Ribs are close through the front. And together, every muscle is working to bring you up and over into your roll over. Open the legs, flex the feet, and then peel down through the spine. Complete the circle. Point, lift, up and over. Open, flex, peel down. Shoulders stay down. Complete the circle. Point, and bring everything up and over. Open, flex, peel down. We're going to reverse this motion with the legs. The legs are now going to stay open and flexed. Arms are still down. Now lower the legs a tiny bit. Hold yourself with your core. Don't bulge your tummy. And now lift up and over. Legs parallel to the mat and the sky. Open or close the legs, point the toes, and peel down, articulating through the spine, and lower the legs. Open, flex. Bring them up and over and bring them together. Point the toes, peel down. One last time. Open, flex, up and over. In together, point and peel back down. Bring the knees into your chest. And let's do some knee circles before we move into our 4th exercise, which is single leg circles. Really massage your hip socket here before we get into leg circle. But if anything hurts or it's still too hard to do a straight leg with the single leg circles exercises, you can always bend your knee and do these hip circles with the knee bent. Make sure you reverse the direction. But during this stretch right now, really we are just releasing all the tension in the hip socket. We're not doing anything with the legs. We're letting the hands do all the work and stir the thigh bone in the hip socket as if it's a cauldron. And we're making some magic potion. And we're ready. We're going to bring both feet down. Extend one leg straight in front and flex through the heel As you flex through the heel, it helps the back of your knee to reach down to the ground, which will support you here. Pull your navel to the spine. Fronts of the ribs are closed. Second leg lifts up and turns out as much as you can. Turn it out by in the hip socket, by bringing the heel towards the middle and the toes point away from you. From here we go across the body and down, around and up for 5. Across the body, down, around and up. Across, down, around and up. Trying to stabilize the hips as the leg moves. A little bend in the knees, okay, in the beginning. And point. Reverse the circle. Open to the side. Sweep down, around, point. Open. Sweep down, around, point. 3 more. It's your core that's doing the circle. It's your core that's generating the power for this movement. And stabilizing your hips. And pull the knee into the chest and switch legs. Right leg, or whichever leg was up in the air for you first, goes down, flexes through the heel as the other leg comes up and turns out. We go across the body, down, around and up. Across, down, around and up. The circle can be as big or as small. Just make sure your hips are nice and stable. Let's do 2 more. Keep flexing through the bottom leg. The heel is pressing into the wall in front of you. And circle. Open. Sweep. Point. Turn out. Let's reverse the circle. Open to the side. Go down, around, up. Side, down, up. Side, down, up. 2 more. And up. Glutes are working. And up, shoulders are down. Last one, up. Pull the knee into the chest. Allow the thigh to release the tension here. We're going to lift up by bringing both knees into the chest, and we're going to lift up here and do a little quad stretch. I'm going to give you 2 options today. One option, which is going to be the easier option, although if you do have bad knees, then none of these options will probably work for you. So maybe just take a little break if you are struggling with bending your knees. So the first quad stretch is going to be a prone quad stretch. We're going to lay on our belly. This is an easier option. You're going to go all the way into the belly. Bring both hands under your forehead and your legs extended straight behind you. Your pubic bone is pressing lightly into the mat so that your lower back is long. From here, you're going to just bend your right knee, reach your right hand and wrap your toes here. Now pull the toes towards the glute while reaching your tailbone long down towards the knee. And hold the stretch here. Release your head onto the palm or onto the top of the hand that is on the ground. And breathe. Taking in a few inhales in through the nose and exhale out through the mouth. And let's do a few more breaths in here. And exhale out through the mouth. And let's reverse to the other side. Right hand comes under the forehead. Right leg extends. Left palm reaches for the left toes. You bend the knee. You point the toe. You release the tension everywhere in the body. The only thing that is lightly working is your pubic bone is pressing lightly into the mat. The tailbone lengthens to lengthen you through the lower back. And then gentle presses, gentle pull on the toes. You're going to feel the stretch either way here, but let's oxygenate all the muscles that are being stretched out right now by taking deep, intentional breaths in through the nose and exhales out, circulating the blood in the quad muscles. In this group of 4 beautiful, strong muscles that support us throughout these workouts. And release the leg. And we're going to come up onto all fours, bring our knees closer in, sit with our feet wider than our hips for the more advanced version of the thigh stretch, quad stretch. So this is a saddle pose, and the easier version for the saddle pose would be to start asymmetrical, which is one leg will be out and the second leg will be bent just like this, and then slowly you're going to either, you can just walk yourself like this and this will be already enough stretch. You can be on your forearms here just like this, or you can lower yourself all the way down and hang out here. Just breathe. If you have a yoga block, a pillow, you can put it under your lower back or put a bolster under your upper back here. And let's release all the tension from the quad. Just breathe. Keep sending your tailbone down. And then let's ease out of this pose. Gently lift onto your forearms, onto your hands, and then switch legs. One leg comes in front of you, but it's outside of the hip a little bit. The other leg comes, the other knee bends, and the heel is outside of the hip. We sit nice and tall, and then we begin to lower ourselves all the way down, first onto the forearms, and then maybe onto your spine. And let's hang out here and enjoy the stretch. Shoulders are down, there is no tension in the neck, the face, the mouth, the eyes. And let's just breathe. Choose a version that is right for you. Feel a little bit of the edge, but no pain. If you feel the pain, go to the previous version. And let's slowly ease ourselves out of this pose. Lift yourself up, and then we're coming back to our seated position, but we're gonna sit on the front edge of the mat. So you guys are gonna sit all the way on the front of the mat. Maybe me too, I don't know. Oh my goodness, there's so many little spideys. For our fifth exercise in the series, which is rolling like a ball. So I'm going to slide myself a little bit more forward so you guys can see me better. But we're going to start by sitting on our tailbone, or maybe slightly behind it, or maybe right on it and between the tailbone and the two sit bones, rounding through the lower back by scooping the belly, pulling it inwards and upwards, creating a round spine, like a bowl shape here. Heels are lifted, toes are lifted, heels are together, knees are apart, and you're holding on to your ankles with the palms of your hands while keeping the elbows extended or just soft, depending on the length of your arm. My arms cannot go completely straight here. We're going to now begin to roll back as we inhale and lift up as we exhale. And we're going to try to hold this position throughout without having our feet touch the ground as we come up. Inhale, roll back. Exhale, come up. Do not roll onto your head and neck. Inhale, roll back. Exhale, come up. Inhale, back. Exhale, back up. I'm on a very uneven surface. I have rocks underneath me, so my ball is going all over the place, but I hope yours is nice and stable and steady. Let's do 5 more. Hold yourself here with your core. Keep rounding like a ball. Inhale back, exhale up. And again, inhale back, exhale up. Do not throw your head. Your chin is tucked. Inhale back, exhale up and hold it, hover. And two more, inhale back, exhale up. Catch yourself at the top. And one more, inhale, exhale. And we are going to transition straight into our single leg stretch by bringing the knees together and peeling the spine down onto the mat. We're going to extend one leg straight out and one leg will stay bent. You should know this exercise from our previous videos, but if not, check out the videos and then come back here. Let's do it now for 10. We're gonna switch legs and switch and switch and only stay lifted to the tip of our scapula. So we're not lifting the chest like this, right? Our spine is fairly straight, flat on the mat with only our chest lifting. Our legs are straight. Let's go for 10. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Both legs and arms switch. And 6 and 7, 8, 9. Belly pulls in. 10. Let's do 2 more. And 12. Let's pull the knees into the chest without breaks. We're gonna go straight into our double leg stretch. Knees are pulled into the chest. Chest is wide. Shoulders are down away from the ears. Arms are resting on the legs. And now everything will extend. We're gonna do 5. Inhale. Everything stretches. Shoulders are down. Exhale. Circle the arms. Recoil back in. Resist the temptation to lift too high here. Inhale, everything goes straight. Exhale, arms circle, everything recoils back in. Make sure you're not arching your lower back off the mat. Stretch and circle and recoil. And lengthen and circle and recoil. And 2 more and circle, pull. 1 more. Stretch, circle, pull, and roll yourself up. And let's sit in a butterfly stretch. Soles of the feet are coming together. Knees are coming apart. We're going to hold down to the feet here. Create a long spine. Reach forward. And then slowly walk our hands out and allow the spine to bend and become soft and round. And the head will go down and just hang here as we allow our body to melt into the earth, as we allow the gravity to support us fully and completely in this pose. No work in the body, just rest. The jaw is soft, the eyes are soft, your breathing is soft and not controlled. Let's take one deep breath in together as we lift up and exhale out. And we're coming right back onto our backs here for our single straight leg stretch and our double straight leg stretch. And the knees are pulled into the chest for our starting position. For our single leg stretches first, and the chest is lifted. One leg goes straight up, points the toe. Go as straight as you can. The other leg goes straight out. Don't go too low where you lose connection to your powerhouse. Walk your hands as high as it's comfortable without lifting your chest up. The idea, the goal of the exercise is for the spine to stay in its neutral position throughout. Now pull the leg towards you for 2. 1, 2, and then switch. 1, 2. And we're adding the breath. You're going to inhale for 2 and then exhale for 2. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Pull the knees into the chest. Release your upper back. Bring the feet to the ground, turn your head side to side, releasing the tension in the neck and the shoulders. We're almost there, you guys. We have one last exercise for us for today, and then I will show you the crisscross. So this next exercise is double straight leg stretch. It is very advanced exercise. I do not recommend doing it on a weak core because two legs are heavy. So let's be kind to our bodies and make sure that, or maybe we'll just set up the starting position and move our legs a tiny bit just to understand what it is. But please don't go so low where you're arching your back off the mat. The last thing we want to do is to push ourselves so hard today and then not come back tomorrow. All right, we're going to begin by bringing our bodies into starting position for double straight leg stretch, by bringing our knees into the chest, setting our spine into neutral, bringing both legs up, turning out into a Pilates stance. Inner thighs are squeezing tight. Arms circle, arms are back behind the head here. They're gently supporting the head, not lifting it, not changing the position of the neck. And then pulling the abdominals in. We inhale, we bring the legs down. We exhale, bring the legs back up. We inhale, bring the legs down without bulging the tummy. Exhale, bring the legs back up. 3 more here. Inhale down. Exhale, bring the legs back up. 2 more. And bring them back. And 1 more. And bring them back. And knees come in and lower down. And let's do a nice piriformis stretch. Your left foot will go down onto the ground with the knee bent. Your right foot will come across, your right ankle will go across just below your right knee here. You're going to thread your right hand in this triangle space that's been created with your right knee, and then lift your left thigh, bring it towards the chest, bring your left arm on the outside and hold on to your left thigh here. Bend your right elbow and press it into your right thigh and create this opposition force where you're pressing your right thigh away from the body while your left thigh is pulling into the chest, creating this beautiful hip stretch, this piriformis stretch. It is also known as a figure 4 stretch, and I forgot what it's called in yin yoga, but it is there. I see it, I saw it. Let's keep flexing both feet to increase the depth of this stretch. And breathe in through the nose and breathe out through the mouth. 2 more breaths, in through the nose and out through the mouth. And let's release the tension, release the arms, release the legs. Right foot goes down, left ankle goes right over your right thigh bone, right below the knee. Thread your left hand in the space created between. So you're going inside with your left hand. Right hand wraps your right thigh bone on the underside. Clasp the hands together, support each other, and then flex both feet and pull your right thigh bone into your chest as your left elbow is pushing your left thigh bone away from you, creating this beautiful stretch in your glute, in your hip. Send some oxygen to those muscles by taking deep breaths in through the nose and exhales out through the mouth. One more. And slowly, gently release, and please come up and observe our new exercise before jumping in. Our new exercise is exercise number 10, which will also complete our series of 5, and this exercise is called crisscross. The starting position for crisscross is exactly the same as for every other exercise in the series of 5. We're lifting the chin, we're lifting the chest, keeping the tips of the scapulas down, engaging through the belly, bringing the knees into the chest, and then circling the arms around and bringing them under the head, lightly supporting the head. We're not lifting the head with the arms. From here, one leg goes straight up and out. Don't go too low just yet. And then the torso twists as you try to reach your right elbow to the left knee, or elbow to opposite knee. And then you gaze at your left elbow here. And then you switch. It's a clean switch, no stopping in between just yet. The opposite leg goes straight, knee bends as you lift and you reach your elbow for the knee. And then you switch. And then you switch. And that is your crisscross. Let me tell you what we're trying not to do here. So we're trying not to make it a shoulder rotation exercise. So as you reach your shoulder, you are twisting your body and lifting your body up and across and up. So the elbows preferably need to stay exactly at their starting position, which is hard to achieve. What normally people do is move their shoulder joint to reach the knee, right? But nothing then is happening in the body, and our obliques are not working, which is what we're going to achieve if we do the exercise properly, right? You're going to strengthen your external obliques. So let's do it together with me, and let's try to create a rotation below the waistline and below the shoulder, and then create a rotation in the torso and then lift with that rotation. Let's actually do it sitting down. Let's sit down just like this, just like me. Bend your knees slightly and then rotate. Keep your hips, both hips glued to the ground. Rotate at your waistline. I want you to recognize this feeling and then lean forward. That's the feeling you're looking for. And then come back in and come back center. And then rotate and lift up and across, and then back in, and well, actually we're gonna go straight across and lift and in, straight across and lift and in, straight across and lift and in. So that's gonna be our rhythm, and the breath is like this. You're going to inhale as you rotate, exhale as you lift a little bit higher, and pause there, and then you're going to switch. Inhale and then exhale. Feel that lift, feel that twist in the body as you go straight across to the other side. Let's peel down and let's do, how about we do 6 together? And if you want to do more, you can do more here. We're going to begin by bringing the legs into the chest. I do have to move this one big rock. It's just so hard on my back. Sorry, guys. All right. Oh, much better. All right, we're going to bring the knees into the chest, lift the chest to the tip of the scapula, so only chest lifts, not the upper back. You're not like in a ball shape. The back is flat, neutral. Arms circle around, and you can interlace them. Just make sure you're not hanging your head there, right? Low. You can interlace the arms if it helps in the beginning, but otherwise you want to just lightly touch your head. Right leg extends. Don't go too low. Engage your tummy. Twist, lift. Look at your left elbow and go straight across. And go straight across. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. And 2 more. And 2 more. And 2 more. And last one. And pull the knees into the chest and rock yourselves up, and you are done. And this was our crisscross exercise. Please go over the notes and then try to do it on your own. You are going to start with just a few and then notice how much easier and easier it gets with every workout. I think this is our first movement in a transverse plane, meaning that we're now adding a rotation to the body. So it might be a little bit challenging. We're already very good with flexion. I tried to add some rotation to our workouts by adding a spiral twist stretch in between so that we keep our spine warmed up in that way. But this is a true rotation here, right, with some load on it. So it's gonna be hard in the beginning. It's gonna get easier and easier as you progress, and soon enough it's going to become your favorite exercise, believe me. All right, this completes our video today, but before we go, I would like to close our eyes and finish this flow today with a small meditation and bring our awareness back onto our intention. And as you have your eyes closed and you're sitting in the most comfortable position for you, I wanted to tell you a little story about abundance, about noticing abundance within and also noticing abundance on the outside. Sometimes we don't see abundance, all we see is lack. And also, when we do end up seeing abundance, at times we don't even know how to make good use of it. And I'll give you a perfect example of that. Yesterday, I was here on top of the mountain, and I got a little bit hungry, and I didn't have any like fruity snacks with me. So, I decided, I'm going to go to Berryvale, the store in town that has fruits and vegetables. And as I was walking to Berryvale, I came across a huge patch of service berries. And then I pretty much had my little lunch right here on the mountain, 2 steps away from where I am today. I had a bunch of service berries, and then as I was going down, there were some plums. And as I got to Berryvale, I decided, okay, I went into the store and I looked around and I couldn't find anything that looks good because everything is already out of season. So I settled my sight on 2 nectarines, and I got the nectarines, and as soon as I walked out, right outside of the store, like by this little garage, I saw a pear tree with ripe pears just filling out the tree. And I thought, oh my God, there's so much abundance. And the pears, let's say I can't reach. The plums, I wasn't sure what to do with the plums. The service berries I ate. So this gave me this interesting perspective on all this abundance. As the moment I said I am hungry, the universe blessed me with all this abundance. And thank goodness I know what service berries are, what they look like. But this is the first year that I know what they are. A year before, I would have passed by this bush that was always here for thousands of years, and I would have never known that this is a berry that I can eat freely, that tastes just like a blueberries, and all I need to do is spit out the seeds to make sure I don't get what is it called? Cyanide, the chemical that's inside the seeds. And otherwise they're very safe to eat. So I fed myself because I already knew what to do with this abundance, and I knew how to notice it. But it took me years to get here. And still, I don't know so many things like those plums. I know they were plums, but I didn't know, they're a little bit sour, like what to do with them at the moment, right? I can't make something like a preserve right here on the spot. So I passed that abundance because I don't have the skill to transform it and make it into something that can nourish my body. And then with those pears, I didn't even notice that the pear tree was there. I passed it, I bought something to only then walk out and notice the abundance that was there all along. I didn't even need to buy anything in the first place. So that is my little story for you with the abundance and noticing abundance, slowing down before reaching for something that will require money or require anything at all. Let's first notice everything that's already available to us, and be so thankful for this abundance that is internal both and external. And look, even with with these classes, you got this internal abundant, right, feeling of inspiration and motivation, and you said, I want to learn Pilates, I want to work out. So this internal abundance came out and met this external abundance that is available to you now with these free Pilates classes, right? Where universe is working through me and sharing something with you that you asked for. So this universe is infinitely abundant, and you are infinitely abundant. And with that, I want to finish this class and wish you a beautiful evening. And I'm so thankful to have you in my class. I feel so much more abundant now that you are here, now that you're participating in this flow with me, and I cannot wait to see you next time. Bye.